Welcome to 2 Minutes of Tech. This is edition 17 and it's a Halloween special. What I wanted to show you is what I did over Halloween. I created a little jack-o'-lantern and I went back to a tool that I've used some time ago called Sculpt GL. And this is my jack-o'-lantern. I've put a one of my photos in as a background. You'll see with Sculpt GL you can create things that are three-dimensional and you can look all the way around them, turn them around. It doesn't take too long to do. So I'm going to show you some of the tools that you need to create this in Sculpt GL. We're going to start by typing SCULPTGL, Sculpt GL, as a Google search. This is the one that you want to use. It should come up first. You can see there are a number of tutorials if you want to spend more time on this, but let's click on that to see what happens. This takes you straight in and you start off with a sphere in front of you. Just going to zoom out a little bit. Over on the right hand side are all the tools you need. So if I go to where it says tool under the toolbars and I click in the drop down, it gives me a whole lot of things that I can use. So let's choose the crease tool to start off with. To start off with, we're going to make some lines around our sphere to make it look like the lines in a pumpkin. Now you'll notice that you've got a thing called radius here. This is little circle represents a radius. If you pull that towards the right, the radius gets bigger. If you pull it to the left, it gets smaller. And you'll see what that radius does when we get started. You've also got a thing called intensity, which you can make more intense or less intense. We're going to crank that up. Well, let's put on around 80 to start off with. The other thing that you'll notice when you start working is you've got two little lines or two little dots working. And this is called working in symmetry, which makes sense when you're doing the pumpkin. But we can take that off, so you're just working with one line at a time. But for the pumpkin lines, we are going to leave it on. So I'm going to start at the very top and just drag down. And it's going to keep dragging it down like that. To move around, if you right click, you can rotate by moving your mouse from the left to right. And again, right click, move your mouse up and down. You'll be able to rotate that way. So let's keep doing these lines. You should notice that they go all the way around, but we will turn this around and we can use the scroll button to zoom in and out, and we'll carry these lines on at the top and to the sides. Should have done the other side as well, and then we're going to do them around the back down here. Looks a bit like a brain more than a pumpkin at the moment, but that's okay. And we're going to do some lines on the bottom, although you probably won't be able to see these ones. Well, unless you rotate around and to view them. If you want to be a bit more accurate, you could look at what a pumpkin actually looks like and get some ideas of that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is going to make some holes where the eyes should go. So maybe we could use the crease, but we could increase the radius and increase the intensity. And we want a crease that goes across here for the mouth as well. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I like that. There's a little bit of experimentation that goes on with this as well. I'm going to increase the intensity yet again. See if I can get these eyes hollowed out a bit more. Just making little circles to try and get it to do what I want. Let's have a look what that looks like. It's quite hollowed out actually. And we want a nose hollow as well. Yeah, but actually what I might do for that one, and I can undo my move if I need to, I'm going to try and just take away the symmetry tool and just use a single line to hollow it out. Not really exactly what I wanted, so I'm just going to undo that again. Whoops, redo. Before we finish, we'll add color, but there's one other thing I want to do is create that part on the very top, which is where the pumpkin grows. We are going to try a different tool this time. Let's try the inflate to start off with, and we'll check the radius, intensity, and we'll inflate a part of this. And then what I'm going to do with that part, once it's inflated, is I'm going to get another tool called drag, and I'm going to try and drag that up and across. Let's have a look what that looks like. I might drag it up a little bit higher as well. And then across a little bit. That's not too bad. Make it a bit wider down here and a little bit narrower up the top there. Might have to inflate it a little bit more too. Let's try inflating it to make it look a little bit more realistic. Actually, we will try and smooth it a little bit here. So increase the radius of that smoothing tool. What has that done? That looks all right. Let's zoom out and have a look. It is a matter of playing around with the different tools, seeing what effects you can create. So the last step in this is to color it. So we can go to the paint tool and we can then choose our colors where it says paint all. We can go to here and let's choose the orange sort of color of, yep. And we can make the radius quite wide for this one to paint the whole thing. Okay, we need to start now by just adjusting this radius to something a little bit smaller. Paint the blackness where the eyes are. We can we'll go to our color here, we can drag it right in so it becomes 0, 0. It should do us, and then I'm just going to do a few little turns in here, little circles. That looks pretty good. I've also put it back onto symmetry for the eyes while I was doing that. I'm going to take that off again, by clicking over here on the right hand side. To do the mouth, we'd need a much smaller radius, so that radius is now 5 actually. Let's go right down to 5, and we can then control it a little bit better. That looks all right from that angle. As you can see underneath, it looks quite different, so we might just try and change that by darkening the inside. We will go up and have a look at that on the other angle. Could spend a bit more time on that, but let's go to the green color to finish off. And up the top here, we're going to paint that. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, we want to change the radius up here to say about 50. So let's finish off by turning our pumpkin around and finishing these, just adding these touches of green. Make sure it goes all the way around. Yep, and that's it. We have created our jack-o'-lantern. Now you can save it by going to File, Export, and you can export it as this save as SGL, which is Sculpt GL. You can also save it as a OBJ, which is a more common 3D image file, which you can use in other things. So that's it. We have finished our sculpture, and you can move around and look at it. You can take you can use some other tools like your screenshot tools and take a shot of it on different angles and save them. It's a PNG file. Jack-o'-lantern. So let's have a quick look how I added my background. I just went up here and image. I can import a JPEG or PNG image, and I found a photo that I had taken here at night time, this one here of the moon, and I put that in as my background, and that's how I achieved that. And when you get really good, you can create all sorts of things. Here are some of the really cool images, like alien, realistic human, a cartoon type guy, and a cartoon girl. And it's really wacko type critters. Cool hand. Good luck in creating your very own Sculpt GL jack-o'-lanterns. Until next time, ka kite anō.